How are you, Stephen?
Trevor.
I'm glad you put your watch back on.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Fenech took his watch off to charge it here earlier, and wow, that tan line is wild.
Shall I show it or?
Yeah, put it up. Let's go.
All right, there you go. There it is.
No, hang on. Let me.
I've got to start talking. There we go.
No, there we go.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll take the watch off completely.
Look at that tan line, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, wow. That is
the remnants of the European.
That is 6 weeks in Europe if I've ever seen it. Eh?
Yeah.
It's
Should see my tan lines in other parts of my body.
Stop it! I just wish you had the big hat. I love the hat.
No, that's gone.
You didn't even bring it home, did you?
No, I threw it away. It had been through a lot of hot, sweaty days, so I thought, you know what? I don't want to pack this in my bag. I'm going to just leave it here.
It's a memory.
It's a memento.
For me, it's a memory of the trip.
Well, I've got photos of it. So
of the hat.
You know what? I'm thinking of buying another one for this summer, for the Aussie summer. I was thinking about getting a big wide brim hat, another one. Yeah, you liked it, did you? Or? So
it was a new look. Let's
the
just
traditional baseball caps just weren't doing it for me.
Yeah,
I needed more.
A baseball cap really is pretty poor protection, really.
For a bloke with a head as big as me, I've got a big head, so you need a big hat. A lot of protection. You need to have the
startling admission from Stephen Fenech. Really,
the porch has to go
startling
all
admission.
around. Yeah,
big head.
Big
there
head.
It is, ladies and gentlemen.
Big brain. Big head.
Give yourself a wrap.
So yeah, the porch has to go all the way around the house. So
have you with your Neuralink? Is that what it's called?
Neuroflex.
Neuroflex. Have they done anything?
I've done the Neuroflex test.
Right.
Yeah. And
I
have got a brain. Yeah. And I passed the test. It said that I'm in the
set your baseline
normative range of a
another 3 years of this rubbish. It'll be like, mate, what have you been doing?
Every Wednesday, apparently, he reckons that my IQ drops a little bit. I'm wondering why.
Remember
who do I spend time with on Wednesdays
those
every
few
week?
Years playing football, and now you've done a decade of this. This has probably done more damage.
Maybe, but no, it's.
How many years did you play football for?
I played for Souths for 4 seasons, 4 years.
How many in first grade?
Oh, I played first grade every year, on and off.
Right.
But it was,
And so, mate, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing in your career compared to this.
Exactly.
This is what you're known for.
Yeah. I wasn't packing into too many scrums here, though, and sort of taking the ball up off the kickoff or anything like that, was I?
Yeah, but just in perspective of your career.
Yeah,
let's be real.
But it was, I was playing at a time when if you did have a head knock, you just kept going. No one thought.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah, there was a policy at Souths where if you did lose consciousness, if you got knocked out, you had to sit out the following week. Even back then, they thought, just as a precaution. But if you got a heavy knock, that you don't necessarily get knocked out. But
all right. So Stephen Fenech, head of the judiciary, is he out or should he have played this week?
Are you talking about Asofa Solomona?
Yeah, I didn't want to say his name because I can't remember it.
Yeah, look. Who do you like? The NRL took the point where head contact with the head, whether it's accidental or on purpose, is contact to the head. Unfortunately,
yeah.
And just the sheer physics of the tackle, like Nelson Asofa Solomona is like
That's
6'5",
yeah,
and Collins is a touch shorter, so just his head was at shoulder height. It's just one of those things. I don't think he went in there to.
Does that make it hard for tall players in the future, you reckon? Tall forwards, anyway?
You've got to be careful. You just got to be, and first ball off the kickoff, everyone's running in 100 miles an hour, everyone's fresh, and that's what happens. And there was talk, do we need to not have that? Like, you catch the ball and then you play you can't. Just
that's
change,
the best
it'll
part
change
of the game.
Nature of the game. Yeah, I know. It's a tough one. Like
that's like saying let's bring in shoulder pads and helmets.
Well, we used to wear shoulder pads. So shoulder pads were. I remember when I was playing, I used to wear shoulder pads. They weren't like massive.
Why do they not play them anymore?
Yeah, they don't. For some reason, you try to spot a pair of shoulder pads on a player now, they just do not wear shoulder pads.
There was
anymore.
A Penrith bloke that had something on his shoulder here because he was being interviewed at half time. And he looked like he was talking like this.
Yeah, he probably had just a bit of padding on an injury.
I couldn't work out what was going on.
But no, I've noticed that no one wears shoulder pads nowadays. Back when I was playing, we all wore shoulder pads.
Did they not protect the shoulders? Maybe they realised that people were still getting.
Well, you think about it,
dislocated shoulders.
It's to protect. Well, to take the pressure off your own shoulders making tackles. But you think about it, it would protect the player as well. If Nelson was wearing shoulder pads, it would have softened the blow a little bit, maybe not completely, but it's protecting both the defender and the attacker as well. So maybe in this instance, shoulder pads, bring them back in. Let them, and not the hard fiberglass ones that they wear for NFL. I'm talking the proper, really soft padded.
They're like the
like the
headwear
headgear material.
It's headwear in the shoulder.
Exactly right. So if you have that,
two blokes have solved this.
That could maybe reduce.
Bring back the biff.
It would reduce the risk.
Oh, no, don't bring back the biff. Right.
It would reduce the force of
Yeah.
He was like a grade 1. He was out. He got up and played the ball the wrong way. He was out.
Right.
So he's missed the entire game. And if they had made the grand final, he would have missed the game too. Because the 11-day stand down.
HIA. Well, that's an interesting take that I'd not heard about why, frankly, Salamano, whatever his name is, shouldn't have played. Because he caused that. You know what I mean?
There's talk that, okay, if you put him out of the game and this was an accidental thing, then you've got to sit out too. Not sent off.
No.
You can't play. Someone else takes your spot.
Yeah.
He's out, so their talent has been drained a little bit.
Yes.
So your talent, you got to go off too. Replacement player, 18th man, bring him in.
I don't mind it.
So if you, and so you're not a man short, but you're one of your best players short.
Plus, bring back shoulder pads.
And the
That's
shoulder
what
pads,
I'm hearing.
yeah, shoulder pads.
It's really quite simple.
Yeah.
And just finally, before we talk tech, that's what
this isn't Two Blokes Talking Sport, is it?
No, but we're allowed to. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Breeze,
Do you want your money back, folks? What are you going to do?
I want my money back. I don't get any money. That's right.
This is unbelievable.
I'm joking.
It's a carve-up.
I'm joking.
What's your tip?
I think Storm. Storm too. They've been the form team all year.
Did you tip Sydney over Brisbane or Brisbane over Sydney in the AFL?
On Sky News, I said Sydney Swans will win easy, and don't I look stupid?
So let's just double down on stupid. What are you saying?
Storm by 8. Yeah.
Wow. Well, what grounds?
Well, I just think they've just been more consistent all year.
Target clear his shoulder?
Well, I think Penrith are carrying a few little niggling injuries across the squad. Yeah, Melbourne could be too, for all I know. But the Melbourne hasn't got as much grand final experience. There's a lot of players never played in a grand final. Penrith have, they do it every year, the last 5 years. That could be a factor where they're not overawed by the occasion. But I just think Melbourne are just too consistent and too every game is just consistent and they just play so well. Their defence is great. They back each other up. It's a great system they've developed down there. Yeah.
Craig Bellamy, genius.
Absolute genius, yeah.
All right, well, that's enough. Two Blokes Talking Sport. We'll be back next week.
Who are you tipping? No. What about you? Who are you going to tip? Are you going to give us a tip or is it just me?
I don't think anyone cares.
You just go opposite me then. You just say Penrith.
Melbourne.
One of us is going to be right. Are you tipping Melbourne too?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. It's official. The two blokes.
I just frankly don't like Penrith.
Give someone else a chance to win.
Basically, yeah.
Someone else.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can someone else just have a chance?
Yeah, but having said that, look at last year's grand final. Brisbane were ahead with 12 minutes to go and absolutely choked, and Penrith came back and beat them.
Yeah, put a pin in that for the private feed.
Yeah.
Because their coach has been
Kevy Walters,
You make the grand final 1 year and you're gone a year later.
See you later, yeah.
And then
harsh.
The Blues are so
harsh.
That's
private feed. Yeah.
Because this is what we're meant to be here for.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Not a bad price.
With Trevor Long from EFTM.com.
Really handy device.
And Stephen Fenech from techguide.com.au.
All right, Stephen, episode 653. Thanks to Netgear and Arlo. Great to have their company, their support. Such a long time support of this show. We love it.
Absolutely.
But there's some news overnight from Meta, Facebook.
Yep.
Meta has partnered with the Australian Financial Crimes Exchange. Never heard of them before in my life. So good luck to them.
AFCX for short.
To basically work together on fraud. They've created a thing called the Fraud Intelligence Reciprocal Exchange, or FIRE, which is a part of the AFCX's Intel Loop.
Yeah.
I'm going to break it down for you. Basically, the AFCX is banks and things like that.
Yep.
And it's an independent body.
Conglomerate, yeah.
And what they're saying is that they've agreed with Meta that if they've got information, they'll give it to them, and that should help them take stuff off the internet or Facebook that's rubbish, right?
Yep.
So a bank knows a scam's happening because they've seen the scam occur, the money's disappeared, whatever. They'll flag it with the Financial Crimes Exchange. It'll go into this, loop, and it'll be reported to Meta so that website, those accounts, those domain names, all that can be targeted, blacklisted, and taken down. Now, Meta began to pilot this in April. and they've had promising results. They say from 102 reports, just 102 reports provided by this Intel Loop.
Yep.
Meta removed 9,000 spam pages and over 8,000 AI-generated celebrity clickbait scams across Facebook and Instagram. So that is welcome news to Twiggy Forrest, Gina Reinhardt, Tracy Grimshaw, and all those people being used in these scams. But
geez, I wonder why they didn't notice that before.
Here's the thing, like that. I was on a briefing call about this, and I didn't really hold back when I said, "Listen, Gina Reinhardt put out a press release saying that she was angry about this and she was going to take legal action, and she listed 4 different ads that were being shown, and the links, I looked, they were still running. They've been running for a year. I reported them. Others, Gina reported them, and they didn't get taken down. Because as I said to this guy, here's the problem. This guy's name was David Agranovich, the policy director for global threat disruption at Meta. Solid title. Look good on your LinkedIn. Basically, people report stuff all the time, and they get a thing back saying it's not breached our policies.
It hasn't breached community guidelines.
It's discouraging to people. It stops you wanting to report things because if you keep getting the "it's not a problem" back from Meta, you don't bother reporting anything in the future.
I've got a problem. I've had a problem with Facebook in the past.
I haven't. I've had a wonderful relationship with them.
But the whole thing, and we've told how many times have we talked about scams on Facebook, and they're there. Like you said, 18 months later, they're still there. People are still clicking on them because we've said it many times. I've said it many times. Facebook, for many people, that's their internet.
That's their internet.
That's what they see as the internet. And in the past, I've had issues where I've run competitions on Tech Guide through my Tech Guide Facebook page, and then you get these idiots imitating Tech Guide with my logo and my photo of me on their fake Tech Guide page, trying to contact my readers to say, you've won a prize.
Happens to radio stations, happen to anyone running competitions.
But get this, I've reported it to Facebook. Facebook's response, they're not breaching community guidelines. Why don't you just block them? I'm thinking, are you joking, mate? They're contacting my readers.
You're saying that as if a real person said that. See,
exactly
unfortunately,
right.
It's AI.
This is the problem. And you know what? It's only that I know people at Meta that I got that page taken down, which is, I think, disgraceful. Yeah. For these people to be able, and that's why I don't run competitions through my website anymore and promote them through Facebook, who I pay to promote through Facebook, and they give me zero service in return. Yeah. So this is kind of them coming to the table.
Mate, let me stop you right
there. The milk's already spilled.
This doesn't go anywhere near that problem. So let me be very clear. This doesn't help the impersonation problem. I'll tell you what else this doesn't help. You remember the problem, was it last year? I had the Infinity Games table, the $2,500 games table that was being listed on the internet for $20, and scammers were using my video to get $20 out of people and not delivering a games table, let alone a product to them. Yeah. And what I've said all along was...
That was on Facebook, was it?
It ran on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. It's run everywhere. Yep. I've said all along, I made the video. Yeah. It's my video. It's on my page. Yeah. I want to have copyright over that vision, and you should be able to detect wherever that vision gets used and not let it run. If someone tries to spend money on an ad, and let's be clear, these scammers are doing that. What they do is they take over a page. Yeah. So if you've got a little candle business on Facebook with 100 likes, wonderful. They'll scam you. They will get your password. They will take over your page. They won't change your page. Visibly, no one will notice the difference. But in the back end, they'll run ads. Yeah. And those ads will be for scammy things, Bitcoin, whatever it is. Yep. Now, I'll just give you some quotes from the Commonwealth Bank here. James Roberts, head of fraud at Commonwealth Bank, says, majority of scams outside of the banking sector originate outside of the banking sector, often on fake websites. The anti-scam intelligence sharing loop adds another layer of defence in Australia. We welcome Meta's collaboration in this part and look forward to their permanent integration in intelligence loop. Like, it's all good, right? But my problem is what they're doing is they're validating the information coming from banks and other things. Awesome. Yeah. But they're not putting anything into the simple things like, hang on, 20 people flagged this. Yeah. Let's take it down. Now, that can backfire, right? Because it happened. TikTok is the best at this. Yeah. Because they take stuff down with like 2 reports. Yeah. Like I called someone what did I call him? I can't remember.
An idiot or something?
It might have been idiot. I think it was just idiot. I had a picture of a journalist. I said, this idiot here writing this story. Yeah. And they got taken down for breaching community guidelines. Now, you know what? I support that.
Yeah.
Fine. Someone felt bad about that, so I reworded and I did it again.
Right.
But it doesn't take more than 3 or 4 reports for someone. That's the problem with this. My system that I'm proposing is not that if 20 people report, but I'm proposing a system of trusted people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Well,
it doesn't take much to have
trusted companies that do business with them.
people. Think about Whirlpool and Reddit and all these places that have moderators.
Yeah.
Why can't Facebook, which is stupid because they should just employ their own people, but let's leave that aside, right?
Yep.
Why can't they verify and validate thousands of Facebook users and say to them, guys, if you hit report and you hit
pay
scam,
attention.
it'll go to the top of the queue.
Well,
that's
is it just
they need a trusted source.
Are they too big for their own boots? Like,
yes,
they've got this sophisticated algorithm that can target people, users, the right content, everything, TikTok as well. Yet they can't do that. Like
it's rubbish.
I don't think. Well, you know what? It's. Let's be real. It's because that's not making them money.
No.
Right?
And because
anything that stops them making money.
All these scams, they're spending money.
Exactly. Yeah. So the scammers are spending money to be on the platform.
Yes.
And
to promote their scams.
Facebook's happy to take the money.
Yes.
But hang on, it's a scam. So
they're only willing to trust the banks to tell them it's a scam.
Yeah. Well, that's an issue because they're happy to serve up stuff, and again, they just want you to look at stuff and collect the data about you. But when it comes down to it, and you do have a real issue with it, and how many times have you heard people saying, "Oh, someone's got into my account," and no one at Facebook. I try to contact people. There's nothing. You can't talk to anyone. Can't ring anyone, and so trying to get your account back is nearly impossible. Would you agree with that? Nearly impossible.
Absolutely, mate. I get it still.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, folks, and this may not be something you want to hear, but I often get the contact from people saying, "I've got this problem," and I think I could help, but it's actually I've got to use my credits sparingly. Because I can't just become a help desk for Facebook.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's your fault. And like
true. They don't have two-factor authentication.
If by now you don't have two-factor authentication on a business page.
Yeah.
And you lose it, dude, I can't help you. Like, what are you doing?
Well, it would pay to sort of do a little bit of admin on your settings, your security.
Yes.
It can't hurt to look
They
at that.
do have a security center for that stuff. Like, it's not that bad. Now, just quickly, some other data from Combank. Combank was the first to integrate into the Intel loop last year, and we've already shared more than 1,500 entries to support other industry players. Encouragingly, we saw Combank customer losses decrease more than 50% last financial year. So from a banking perspective, there's benefit to sharing information, right?
But they're going to see big changes early because it's new, right?
Yeah.
It's like...
what you're saying is scammers are going to find their way around it.
Well, no, but anything like it's like when you try to lose weight. Okay, the weight is easy when you're first trying to lose weight. That's the low hanging fruit. You get rid of that really easily.
Yeah.
So this is what's going to happen here. It's getting right down to it to make it a safer platform. That's going to take more resources. It's going to take more people, real human beings, which is going to take away from their bottom line. They're going to have to redirect some of their staff to perhaps do this, which is why I think it's look. It appears to me it's not a priority because it's not making them money.
Yeah,
they're looking at this. They're reacting to things rather than preventing things at the moment. It needs to be the other way.
Look,
they got to prevent it.
I want to be clear. This is a good step forward, right? This is good. They're getting better intel into Facebook to help prevent scams, but it doesn't do enough.
No.
And
you've got to remember too, Meta is Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram's evolved here too.
Yeah.
So it's two of the biggest social media platforms, if not the biggest, right? I don't know where TikTok sits in the mix of this. Are they bigger than Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
Facebook's got like a couple of billion users worldwide. So I think it's got to a point where we're too big now to really give you any kind of effective customer service here. And now look, you don't pay any money to be on Facebook.
Yeah,
you're their product, so you're giving them your data and everything like that. So the resources around this, and this is a positive step that they're sort of partnering with people to try to prevent this. But there's still, as you said, a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, I just I worry that it creates a false sense of security among people. Like if people hear about this and they go, "Oh, good on Facebook,"
yeah,
but so I don't need to worry. Well, you still need to worry.
You still no,
And
it's
I
business
think
as usual. Do what you can.
for average users, you need to think about the vulnerable people in your life, and they're elderly. I'm telling you right now, they're falling for these scams.
Yeah.
So think about them and educate them. Secondly, if you are a business on Facebook, if you have a page and you don't have two-factor authentication and probably a second person in your admin list so that if your account gets compromised, your other person can stop them from getting access, you got to do these things. You got to go. They've got a good security center. They actually have this information for you to learn how to handle it and deal with it.
Yeah.
You've got to take that responsibility. It's like it's kind of like saying, "Oh no, well we haven't had a lock on this door for years. It's cool. We've never had a break-in." That doesn't matter. Change the lock, right?
It's
what
like,
are you talking
like
about?
driving without a seatbelt. You might not need it, but best to have it on.
Yeah.
Do that.
So,
Two-factor authentication.
Half points to Meta for this one is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Good
feeling?
start. Good. You know what?
Good start.
Encouraging.
We
that
like
they're
what you're
going
doing
down this path.
but do a whole lot
But
more.
more
You know
needs
those
to be done.
billions of dollars you're making? How about you spend some on staff who can help people and can find scams by reading the actual reports that come through?
That helps.
You wouldn't have to read more than 1 in 10 to actually find them.
Well, you know what? If there's more than, like you said, if there's a few people reporting the same thing, then shouldn't that sort of, isn't there an algorithm you got to say that you should be paying attention to that?
And if it looks like it's over, because remember, just last thing on that can be used negatively as well, right? That can be used against an individual. 20 people can flag something because they hate the person. So you need to be careful how you use it. But that, like on TikTok,
You could
when
detect
when that video got taken down, a notification came up.
Yep.
I had the option to appeal.
Did someone report you, or did
I don't know who
the
but-
algorithm caught you?
No, I think it was a person. I think that's just how
Person you
people
were
report
talking
it.
about,
No. No way they saw it. I had the
I know,
option
they
to
were
press a
talking-
button to appeal.
Yeah.
I could have pressed that button and typed what
Yeah.
I thought,
Okay.
but I didn't bother because I felt like that was okay to bring that down.
But you're saying too, TikTok's pretty.
They're aggressive.
They're on the ball with this.
They're aggressive. Yeah,
Right.
I respect that.
Maybe Facebook should take a leaf out of their book.
Maybe they should.
Talk to them.
Yeah, Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Now, are you a Sonos fan? Yeah, I've got a couple of Sonos speakers at home.
Yeah,
And
I mean, back a while I got the Sonos Arc is my
yes,
TV speaker,
it's a
but
soundbar.
I don't even have the app.
No. Well, I can remember, like, we're talking 10, 12 years ago when Sonos was kind of the lone
Mate,
multi-room
They
speaker
were the
system.
gold star for getting a multi-room
And-
speaker system.
And it was just incredible that you could choose which room you want to listen to, and you can play different music in each room and have every room playing the same song. And over the years, they've had a few app updates. And in more recent times, those app updates have really, I think, rubbed users the wrong way.
The big one was they went from this generational leap. They went, there's all these speakers here,
Yeah.
and then there's new ones here. So we're going to create a new app that only works with these
The new
speakers,
ones,
right?
yeah.
And they had to do that because the
Yeah.
old speakers just didn't have the wherewithal
capacity
to
to-
do what
yeah.
the new app needed to
Yeah.
do, right? So
Yep.
that was polarizing. It was badly handled because
Yeah.
basically they said, and you can't use your old speakers. You can't sell them. You can't do anything with them. You got to chuck them out. Like it was
Paperweights.
so badly handled. Now
Yeah.
they pedaled back and they kind of found a way to sort that out. However, like a month or two ago,
Yeah.
they launched an app update and it got absolutely hammered
Shredded.
online.
Yeah, I know.
Shredded.
Yeah.
Features missing, clunky, can't connect my speakers.
Yeah.
It was not a great
And
experience at
to
all.
be clear, having a companion app to like a service like this has to be perfect.
Yep.
Because so many people use it. So many people. If there's any kind of change, how many times have you heard in the past when there's changes to something that people are familiar with?
Remember when you said on Facebook
when
earlier on?
Facebook were, and
They changed the news feed and said, oh my God, it's
It's like
different.
the world was ending, right? You know,
But this is different. This is
if you're a
personal.
Sonos customer who you want to enjoy your product to its full capacity, your music and all that, and when those features are missing or being changed in some way, and you're entitled to feel a little bit miffed because if it's not doing what it's supposed to do and not performing at that level, then you got to because being able to use a speaker means use the app means you've spent money on a soundbar or
Yeah.
a few speakers. So you got skin in the game. It's not like you're your social media is playing up. This is the app for your devices.
We just talked about Facebook, and you were like, "You're the product because you're not paying for it." Well, hang on, I bought this multi-hundred or $1,000 speaker. This app should work. And the bigger problem with this was the app worked and it did all these things, and the new one wasn't as good, didn't do all the things. So it was like, what are you doing to me here? So it's staggering to me that they have come out today with a statement talking about how they have new commitments, 7 new commitments, as a part of an internal review based on the app release that happened back in May.
So it's like a quality assurance that they've put out here.
The unwavering focus on customer experience. Increase the stringency of our pre-launch testing phases.
Very important. Pre-launch
Pretty big
testing.
deal. Yeah.
Demonstrate humility when introducing changes.
If I worked there, I'd want out.
Introduce humility.
So
hang on,
if I was a CEO, you know what the list would be? Get it right.
Demonstrate humility when introducing changes. In contrast to the all-at-once automated app release we issued in May, any major change will be released gradually. Okay, allowing customers to adjust and provide feedback before it becomes the default. In point of quality, ombudsperson.
Oh my God.
Interesting. So they ensure our employees have a clear path to escalate any concerns in terms of quality and customer service, customer experience. Here's a positive thing. They are going to extend home speaker warranties. So to say sorry or to make keep you sweet, they're going to increase the manufacturer's warranty by 1 year for all home theatre and plug-in speaker products.
So not the little Bluetooth Roam speakers and stuff.
The little portable speakers, they don't qualify. But plug-ins do, and only if they're still under warranty, you're going to get an extra year warranty.
But despite all those changes, they're also committing to relentlessly improve the app experience with regular software updates.
Which is kind of what happens. How often they don't improve that much? They don't send out updates.
Well, I think that's the problem is they were doing these
wait for the big ones.
Big updates, rather than just sprinkling them in.
Rather than going too hard too early, you want to make it last longer. Is that right?
Okay,
that's how Sonos should be doing it. Or
wow,
well, that's kind of what they're approaching here. Rather than sort of going doing too much and it's not
stop?
It's not very good. You want to make it gradual.
Hey,
so
it's still good.
Yeah. Best 2 minutes of your life. That's great.
And they're also establishing a customer advisory board.
Yeah,
to ensure we never lose sight of the voice of the customer. I'd love to be on that board. What do you reckon that pays?
You know what? I don't know, but I've really staggered when companies don't recognise the importance of their customers.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you and we've got a call on the radio or an email saying, "Oh, I bought this thing and something's wrong and I'm having trouble," and I've often stepped in, as you have, and said, "Okay, I'll contact someone I know at such and such a company." And it's fixed. Yeah. The problem is fixed. And I say to those companies, I said, for me to have to step in, that's the worst case scenario for you. Mm-hmm. If I've got to step in or you've got to step in to help your customer, then you're not doing your job. You should worship this person who's spent money on your product, and they're getting the runaround and have to come to me, and then I'm going to email you, and for that to happen. That really annoys me. So for companies and look, Sonos, the fact that they've taken this step, good luck to them, because they appreciate the customer relationship. They want to make it better.
100%.
And they've agreed that, we could do better. So good on them. This whole segment hasn't been about them cutting corners or doing anything. They want to make it the best possible experience.
I think they've just realised that they've not done it right. Their processes have been wrong, and they've learnt that there's better ways to do it. And you got to respect them for that. But, have they lost too much customer support? Have they?
Yeah, maybe.
The thing is, they're in a lucky position because they're not an app that you can just go and get another one of, because it's not a free service. Yeah. Because I own that speaker. The chances of me going and buying all new speakers just because I don't like their app, very low.
They have also just recently released headphones too. So they're trying to encourage customers to increase their spend on their audio products, not go backwards.
So look, they're in a good position to turn this around. You got to give them that. An app owner or a subscription company.
Email.
I think so. Yeah.
Brave email. What was the thing? Remember when Apple got rid of the headphone jack? Is that what you said?
Courageous.
Courageous. This was courageous for admitting this and saying, right, okay, mea culpa. It was our fault. We're going to make it better.
Yeah.
Boom.
No,
Good
it's
on
not
you,
bad.
Sonos. Good on you
It's well played.
for having a go. The old saying, I remember when I was coached by Jack Gibson, the great man in the under-21 stateside, I'll never forget what he said to us. If you're going to make a mistake, make it at 100 miles an hour. In other words, you're doing your best, but you made a mistake. They're doing their best. They're going to make it better.
They've published a very big, brutal public announcement at 100 miles an hour.
That's what they've done. And you know what? We're talking about it. So
who else,
good on them.
Who else could do with such a statement right now?
South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Wow.
Had a terrible year this year. It was injuries. It was all kinds of things.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah.
Like, from the club to their supporters, I feel like they need to write that kind of thing, don't they?
Well, you know.
They want Wayne Bennett to come out with an announcement that says, listen, we're going to do better.
Well, everyone's expecting that. But you know what? It's a combination of things. You know, of course, there's still 13 players on the field every week. So it's up to them. The other teams have managed injuries and other things in the season. Souths were unfortunately a little disappointing this year. They came second last, so quite disappointing.
Quite.
Yeah.
Two Blokes Talking Sports still here on Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fenech.
And we do it all thanks to the great people at Netgear, netgear.com.au. I'll tell you about some new Netgear products later, and they are Wi-Fi 7 because Wi-Fi 7, it's the ultimate.
Giddy up.
The all-new Wi-Fi 7 series basically delivering uncompromising whole-of-home Wi-Fi. And the great thing about Netgear is they've got a great website that allows you to work out which one's right for you. Now, you might be a single person living in a small apartment or home, and you do a lot of gaming. Well, let's talk Nighthawk, folks. There's some great Nighthawk products, including one that's now just $400, and it's Wi-Fi 7. I'll tell you about that shortly. But the basic gist here is they've got so many products at so many different price points that allows you to find the products that's right for you because it matters. The difference between you and your neighbour might be the number of people in your home, but also might be the number of devices and the speed of your internet. So there's many things to consider.
Size of your home.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trevor lives in a massive house. He needs a lot of coverage.
Massive stuff.
Yeah.
So check it all out. You can find the latest and greatest from Netgear at netgear.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Before you say anything,
go on.
can I say that if in this segment, if you blink, you'll miss it? We just thought I'd get that out the way. There's the new brand called Blink.
I'm embarrassed.
Is that right? Blink and you miss it?
I'm embarrassed.
I'm going to try and work that into my headline of my review of the product.
So help me out here. Help me out from the get-go. I understand how Blink is an Amazon smart home security brand.
Yes.
Isn't Ring their smart home security brand?
Well, Ring has a range of cameras, doorbells mainly. Ring's the sort of doorbell.
They have a bunch of cameras as well.
Wheelhouse. Yeah, I know, but when you think of Ring, you think doorbells. They were the first smart doorbell, really, weren't they? And they do have cameras, you're right, indoor and outdoor cameras.
Yeah. So is Blink the Jetstar to Qantas as
potentially, yeah, I'd
Blink
say so.
is
Yeah,
to
good
Amazon
way of putting it. Yeah,
and Ring?
So these are meant to be affordable. I think they started under 200. I think the outdoor
$69.
$149. I thought it starts the outdoor 4.
Oh, but indoor it's like a $69 one.
$69, yeah. So it's meant to be, and I think tying in the sort of the buried lead here is that they work with Alexa products really well. So if you've got an Alexa show product, they'll come up on those as well. You can create a little what do you call it? What do you call it when you add to Alexa? What is it? Not a complication. It's a
skill.
Skill.
Routine.
That's the word, skill. Trevor's got plenty of it. Use the skills to add to so that the cameras. So if you're already in an Alexa household, and I'm going to say we've got a lot of Alexa products at home.
Yeah.
This would be, I think they're looking for customers to add on to that. Sort of, it's like a little on-ramp to home security cameras. And these are affordable. They set up through Wi-Fi. They do need a little sync module though. So do you remember the old Philips lights? Remember they used to come with a little box that connects to your router?
Isn't the Alexa Show one of those? And isn't that a hub?
Well, I'm not sure about that. The outdoor, and they all need the outdoor 4 requires the sync module 2.
Wow.
Is a requirement for outdoor 4. I think the indoor one doesn't need it. I'm not sure about that. I haven't. We've only just seen the announcement.
But for $149, it comes with that. The outdoor 4 comes with it. Yeah.
Yes. And so you've got things like, here's the thing too. The outdoor camera, I understand, one of them has 2 AA batteries, and it lasts for 2 years.
That's wild.
How does that work?
There's no way that's getting as much motion as other things.
Well, apparently they're saying there's a special, like an algorithm they've created to sort of reduce the power consumption. But, 2 AA batteries. So rather than having a rechargeable battery, 2 AA batteries.
But they also have a subscription plan. It's not like
They
these are
do,
just
yeah,
cheap.
they do, yeah. And
Blink subscription plus plan.
Yeah.
Blink Moments is a video viewing experience that automatically combines clips captured across cameras into a streamlined video.
That's it. So you can there is a way to do local storage as well. So if you want to have local storage, you can do that. But if you want to say having the subscription plan, like our mates at Arlo, there is a lot of the features unlocked when you have the subscription plan. The plans are $5 a month for the basic, $15 a month for the plus. Plus offers a few features, I think, like they have dual. They've got also person detection as well, which is part of the subscription, as well as object detection as well as being able to view clips for up to 60 days. Unlimited storage in the cloud for up to 60 days.
And this feels like an interesting one because it's obviously available on Amazon, but then also through Bunnings.
Bunnings, yeah.
And I think Bunnings has probably put the pressure on here for pricing because Bunnings, want to have range of products at a range of prices. But it really will come down to what you need and what you want. But I'm still fascinated by the fact that they've got a smart home security brand. Why do they not? And again, let's use Arlo as the example. The Arlo Pros, the Arlo Ultras, but then they've got the Arlo Essentials. It's still Arlo.
Something
it
for
gives you
everyone.
that reputation. Like,
And they
why
all work
would you not go
together.
Ring Essentials or Ring
you're saying-
Simple? Like, well, it just
Yeah.
you're trying to introduce a whole new brand to people when Ring has such reputation.
Yeah, it's got name
It's
recognition
ridiculous.
too.
I'm
So
actually blown away. I find it amazing.
This would not work with the Ring camera. So if you've got Ring and another
It's
camera,
a separate app.
It's separate. So not going to work together. So Blink is the other path, I guess, for Amazon as well.
I just don't know.
Because I think Ring was acquired by Amazon.
That's right. Yes.
And now was this the same deal, or was this always been an Amazon
No idea, mate.
company?
No idea.
Yeah.
It does look like it's a separate thing.
Yeah,
that
they look nothing like the Ring cameras at all.
No.
Yeah, they've got quite a square design as well. Black or white, I think, are the color options. But I think it's for the person who's in the ecosystem, who knows Amazon. You might be a Prime customer. You got an Alexa. This is kind of the first sort of touch point for us. If you're thinking home security cameras, you're going to see a lot of these in your countless Amazon emails. If you're still if they send a lot of emails suggesting products. If you've looked at a certain product,
it's got the word unsubscribe in it, mate.
I understand. Yeah, I know, you'd know all about that. You filter all your emails with unsubscribe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your inbox would be a lot lighter, wouldn't it?
It is, mate.
So what does it do? Does it put it in a junk folder, or
No,
where
just
does it go?
I've got a folder
Yeah.
in my email called unsubscribe.
So this is through Gmail. You did this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a folder called unsubscribed.
Yeah.
And I would say there are, how many on a page here? Like 100? There would be 50 today.
Wow.
That's 50 emails I haven't had to look through.
Do you look at them?
Yeah, I look at them now and then.
So they're not going to appear in
I
your...
just scroll through and I go, there's nothing there important, and then
There
move on.
used to be one from me in there.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot for having the word unsubscribe in your emails.
I didn't, to be honest, it was in such small writing that I didn't notice it.
I don't
just
understand
a
why you've got
generic-
a fine print generic.
Just a generic fine print. If this wasn't meant for you, I don't know. It's just...
I don't think it matters,
Yeah.
does it?
My web guys thought it was a good idea that I have that. Yeah.
Did they?
I haven't had one unsubscription. No one unsubscribed.
Because it wasn't really an unsubscription.
Well...
Do they have to write? It was just a manual one.
Write it, yeah. But then you get some unsubscribe, and I do a lot of unsubscribing because you're in when you go to conferences and CES. And
I went to unsubscribe to the Tech Guide newsletter and they went, "Oh God, he's going to see it," because you get an email probably when, or you look at the database.
I would. My web.
Oh,
guys
that's
would.
good to know.
I
Hang
would.
on, just give me a minute.
You idiot. So,
I'm a
I
narc.
don't care.
I don't send enough
don't
emails.
care.
I don't do a weekly thing. So whenever I send a new one, which might be 6 months, it might be 2 months, but I always start with, "Listen, if you don't want this, just click here." Like I lead with it.
I do it every Thursday.
I'm like,
mate.
listen, no, but I lead with unsubscribe. If you don't want this, unsubscribe.
Okay.
So
I
it
leave
stops
at the
people
bottom.
right back going, "Where did I get this rubbish from?" Because it happens all the time.
Is that how your readers talk?
Yeah. No, not the good ones.
Oh.
The ones that
Well-
the narcs that entered the competition 3 years ago, which of course
And you're going to get on a mailing list.
went
if
onto
you
a
do
mailing
that.
list.
Yeah, of course.
And so you wanted to win a car, but you don't want to hear from any more.
Yeah.
Nick off.
Fair weather friend.
I don't want you around here.
Fair weather friend.
I don't want you or your readership.
No, I get every week the thousands of Tech Guide readers receive the Tech Guide newsletter every Thursday. Thursday's newsletter day, and
Mate.
10 of the best stories on the site.
I'm aware. I ran it
Trevor
for 6
looked
weeks.
after it. I loved how when you updated where I was every week, you said, he's back in his homeland now, back in Malta.
I'm just glad you didn't get upset that I put my photo in it.
No, well, there was a photo of both of us.
Yeah.
In it. Yeah, that's smart. That was good. It was the first thing I said when I got back. Just get rid of that photo, put mine in there. Get rid of Trevor. I'm back. No, it was good, mate. I did see the newsletter. I'm thinking, I've got a few emails here, and it's a few. It was the newsletter, and there's always a few people who've got an out of office reply. So yeah, the many thousands of people who receive that newsletter, you get like 10 or 12 out of office replies. Yeah, so I'm thinking, the newsletter's gone out.
Great to have your company
Really
on Tech Guide
nice,
newsletter.
really nice. Yeah, get on there, get on.
I don't know how
you
we
can
got onto that.
subscribe on the homepage.
Anyway, there's new cameras from Amazon, EFTM.com, techguide.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fenech.
Well, Samsung are back at it again with a couple of new
Jesus, give us a break, will you, Samsung?
Galaxy AI devices. I love the timing of this because it was a week after the iPhone launch. So they thought, you know what, Apple can't release any products without us joining in.
We're going to be the first ones in the year and the last ones in the year to release a smartphone.
So they have released their Galaxy S24 FE, and FE stands for?
Fan edition.
Fan edition. So basically what this means...
What else could it stand for?
Well, it's a flagship edition or flagship experience, I think is what was suggested.
Better.
But that's kind of what it is because Samsung every year release an FE model, which is a more affordable version of the flagship.
It still looks like the flagship.
It looks exactly like the flagship.
I've
cheaper.
been saying this week, I reckon 99% of S24 owners, let's be clear, not Ultra, but standard S24 owners, 99% wouldn't notice if you swapped out, or when you sent them their device, gave them an FE.
Yeah.
Because, mate, it's still got a great screen, still got a great camera,
6.7-inch
still got
screen.
Galaxy AI in it, still it's great. It's all basically pared back a little different chip
slightly,
in it, powering
slightly
it.
like it's Exynos chip, I think, in it, and it still offers Galaxy AI though. So even though you haven't got the premium Snapdragon on the S24, you're still getting Galaxy AI, which you can't say for Apple. If you're an Apple user, if you're a customer with an iPhone 15 that you bought a year ago, that won't support Apple Intelligence.
Also, if you're an iPhone 16 customer who's seen the ads for Apple Intelligence...
Not out yet.
Also not out yet.
Yeah. So Samsung have been at this. And from day one of their launch of the S24 in January, or was it early February, Galaxy AI has worked.
Yes.
It's been there. It's not coming soon.
It's been improved. They've added things.
It's been there.
Yeah, they've added
from
things.
the get-go.
With every major launch, so like the Z series and now this.
That's right.
There's always been new features.
Correct.
Which is fantastic.
And now too with the Tab S10 and the Tab S10 Ultra, which is like 14.6 inches, it's massive. They've got the S Pen included, and that also brings that really showcases the AI as well. Especially if you like, do you know that is it sketch to draw? You know when you're trying to draw a picture and then it goes, I see what you're getting at. Here's a picture.
I think I see what you're getting at.
I think I know what you're trying to draw here. How about this one? That's just really showcased on that product. And you think about it, that's the first generation of tablets built for Galaxy AI for them. So
I think, and I've been saying this week, I think Samsung is desperately underrated in the tablet space.
Definitely. And it's so thin. Have you seen it?
Look, I love the Pro iPads, but they're very expensive.
Yep.
Your Samsung, these are the S10
you get
Plus and Ultra.
Yeah,
they
you
don't
got
have
the
the standard.
Tab A as well.
But you're talking about a $1,700. So it's an expensive tablet.
It's an iPad
but
Pro
they
level
are
tablet. Yeah.
beautifully thin.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They are
incredible screen
gorgeous
too.
devices. The
AMOLED
screens are
screen.
stunning.
Really nice.
So they're actually very, again, most people think I've got to get an iPad because I need to be in the Apple ecosystem. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Just do your emails, your Facebook, your whatever you need to do.
Yep.
It's all possible on that device.
Yep.
I think they're desperately underrated in that space.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
I do think though they need to bring out the standard 10. I know they're selling these big ones at the big dollars, but I'd like to see a Tab S10 at $1,200, $1,800, $1,500.
Smaller ones, because the smallest Tab S10 is 12.6 inch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 14.6 or 12.9, I think it is. That's the smallest one.
Yeah.
14.6 is just a monster.
So you've really got to downgrade to an A series tablet, which is a downgrade.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think they could bring out something in the middle there.
Smaller yet powerful.
It's just a tough market.
But but I agree with you. The Galaxy tablets are very underrated. Anyone who gets I know whenever I receive them, thinking, wow, this is really, and it's so thin, and the really bright, sharp screen. Great for watching content. Great for if they've got the S Pen involved. You can, if you want like to write things down or draw things, and if you're an artist, it's right there for you as well.
I think the challenge will be, I think it's great and smart from Samsung to push their AI, like the billboards and stuff. I'm seeing it huge this year, because when come next year in Australia, when Apple Intelligence is here, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Like, it is a game changer.
I think so. And, the funny thing's going to be, I'll predict it now, once Apple Intelligence, once the rubber hits the road there, people are going to say, how good's Apple Intelligence? It's amazing. I can't believe it. And then we'll say, Samsung had it a year ago.
Well,
same thing.
Here's where I differ on that, right?
Yeah.
Apple Intelligence, the features like, okay, I can rewrite an email, all that stuff, great. They've all, like, if you're telling me Apple Intelligence is great because it can rewrite your emails, you're an idiot. ChatGPT could do that. A Galaxy AI could do that.
Yep.
But the difference is the Apple Intelligence features that live and breathe in front of you. They're foreground features.
Yep.
Like, mate, I'm telling you, these summaries of notifications, summaries of emails,
and prioritization,
summaries of text messages is unbelievably good.
Yeah. So and you can see, I like the ads too. The ads with Bella
Ramsey. I think
Ramsey.
Samsung will have to do that next year. They'll have to do some foreground AI to make sure people see what's happening in AI.
But Apple very cleverly and already marketing Apple Intelligence. With the ads have got Bella Ramsey. She's the actress who was in The Last of Us.
Which has a small, fine print that says coming in December. Like, it's a whole ad for Apple Intelligence.
The use cases, though, are really smart. Like, there's one where she's trying to remember the name of a bloke, and she goes, oh, who's that photo I had in this? And it says, oh, yeah, that photo was with such and such. And the guy turns up and she goes, oh, hi. And he goes, oh, you remembered my name. Of course I remembered your name. Then there was the other one where she's sitting there with her agent or something saying, oh, did you get that email pitch about the thing? He goes, oh, hang on, let me have a look. And then she hits summarize, 2-line summary saying, oh, it's a Victorian project. Oh, yeah, which I love that and this and that. And she goes, yeah, I know that because I read it. And she goes, okay, then. So
can I test something on your phone? Have you got Siri active?
Yep.
With the press of a button? Give it here. Have you got? You don't have Apple Intelligence, do you?
No.
So I was testing. I did a legit request to Siri the other day while I was driving, and I thought that was very good. Was that new or old? What's the song that Chris Christopherson wrote for Johnny Cash? Oh, your bloody password! It won't give me. Don't tell me. So it's unlocked now, right? I don't. So it's coming up and says, "Oh, which contact are you looking for?" Let me start it again. Okay, now that actually, can you just unlock the phone so it's properly unlocked? Oh, lovely. What's the song that Chris Christopherson wrote for Johnny Cash? Waiting. Okay, so it didn't read it out, though. Would it normally read it out? It's come up on screen.
The Loving Gift.
Would it normally read it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the volume's turned down.
Oh, okay, right.
The Loving Gift is a song written by
don't need the answer, but mine gave that answer in CarPlay, and I thought normally it's like, here's some results I found on the web.
Yeah,
so I didn't know whether I'd got some sort of newer version of Siri.
Yeah.
Because the Siri intelligence stuff I've got the visual difference, like it looks different, but
are you still running the beta or the proper?
Yeah, and I'm on the beta, so that I can.
Because the visual difference isn't there yet, is it, for regular users?
No, but it is on beta. Yeah, it comes up around the outside of the screen there. Looks sick.
The glowing ring of fire.
It looks unbelievable. Just keep talking to her so she keeps glowing. Look at. But that's what I want. I want to test how she improves in natural language and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I don't really use her that much for that reason, because I've never been able to trust that she'd give me an answer.
Okay. So you're saying that.
So I was surprised. I was listening to Hadley and he talked about it, and I missed what song they were talking about.
Yeah.
So I asked that question. And the fact that I got an answer was like, oh, that's not usual. Siri's normally dumb.
Yeah. Normally saying, oh,
here's the results I found on the web. Yeah. I'm sick of hearing that.
She's had a solid upgrade.
So and then you've got Samsung now pushing Bixby again. Like at IFA, Bixby, really? It's in everything. So I suspect in January, February next year when they go out Galaxy S25.
Right.
I suspect that
Bixby
they will say
revival.
I hope they don't have a stab at Apple. I think they should play the higher ground here and go, right, we're improving Galaxy AI with smart notifications. I think they have to do something like that. And I think they need to say Bixby is Galaxy AI enabled so that you can talk to Bixby and make that link.
Yep.
I think they can. I think Bixby still has a life if they bring her back properly now.
Being Android, don't you have the choice of using Google Assistant?
Yes,
and
but
Gemini?
That's what Samsung needs to own.
Of course. They've got to have their own brand. Yeah. So Bixby, this could be the big comeback. For
This could be
Bixby.
Stephen Bradbury style. Probably a big leap.
Everyone's going to fall down in front of it.
Well, I don't know that's going to happen, but they
Yeah.
can certainly compete
What's
with
a big
Bixby.
comeback? What's a big comeback that you can think of?
Oh, no, it's never happened to South.
I remember
so I don't know.
I remember when Tiger Woods won the Masters a few years ago. Remember, after having leg operation, back operation, he won the Masters. That was a solid comeback.
Two Blokes Talking Sport. Here on Two Blokes Talking
Yeah,
Tech.
it's a very sporty episode, isn't it? Yeah.
We're very sporty people.
Well, our
I was
backgrounds are sport.
I was at the dentist today, and they gave me the post-op instructions, and it said no.
Don't play sport.
No,
Contact
sport. It said no exercise or physical exertion for the next 2 days. I just laughed.
No problem.
I said no risk.
2 days or
How
2
about
weeks?
the next 2 decades?
No problem, Doc. Is that what you said?
I got you
Too
covered.
easy, mate.
Two Blokes Talking Tech here on Two Blokes Talking Tech. We'll get back to that because it's what we're meant to be doing, and we're pleased to help you with
Back on topic,
with
mate. Back
actual
on
on-topic things.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, proudly supported by Arlo. And Arlo, great range of security cameras, great doorbell, love the floodlight, indoor, outdoor cameras. And if you purchase any Arlo camera between now and the end of the year, you go in the running to win a car.
Win a car?
And is it an MG? An
Yep.
MG car? Yeah, wow. So, but you have to, right? So you got to purchase an Arlo camera, any Arlo camera from participating retailers, keep your receipt, then enter online, upload your receipt at arlomgpromotion.com.au.
Banners on
And you
techguide.com.au and
go-
EFTM.com. Easy to
You also
find.
go in there and you're in the running to win the MG3 Excite.
Yep.
So you would be excited if you did win
I mean, it's wild. They've got 2 cars because one of them's
Yeah.
from New Zealand, one of them's from Australia.
Boom.
And you buy 3 cameras, you get 3 entries.
3 entries, that's right.
So
Yeah. So
no mucking around here,
in
folks.
Australia and New Zealand, if you're listening to this or watching this in the US, sorry, we can't help you. You're not eligible to enter. But if you're in Australia, get in there. Buy a camera, keep your receipt, register, upload your receipt at arlomgpromotion.com.au, and you go in the running to win an MG3 Excite. Have we driven these? Have you driven the MG3?
No.
Is that an electric car? It's not.
No.
Okay. Still a car, though, and they're giving it away for free if you happen to be the winner.
It's
You
a
could
legit
win
free
a
car, folks.
Hello, win a car with Arlo. Check it out. The promotion, you can go to arlo.com.au for info on the promotion. There's ads on our websites as well. And if you want to find out more about the actual products, arlo.com.
Boom.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
All right, Stephen, some great new products I alluded to earlier in the show from Netgear, and they are more Wi-Fi 7 products. So, Wi-Fi 7 we've talked about a lot, is the latest and greatest Wi-Fi technology. And
It's the latest flavour of Wi-Fi.
yes, flavour. Well done. Well
and
said.
It's apparently Wi-Fi 7 is 2.4 times faster than Wi-Fi 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's several new products. There's a $449 product, the RS200 Nighthawk. There's a $799 RS600 Nighthawk.
Yep.
And then there's a 2-pack 700 series Orbi at $999 and a 3-pack at $1499.
Which is, when you consider that's actually pretty good pricing for a Wi-Fi 7 product. Look, let's be frank here, the 970 is their flagship Wi-Fi 7 Orbi products, which is kind of the Rolls Royce, I called it, of mesh networks. You're looking at $4,000 there, $4,200.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for similar results and a much cheaper price than the 770, if you live in a smaller house, slightly smaller,
Or
the
you just have less
970s
products,
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It can be, as I mentioned earlier in the promotional spot for Netgear, the point here is there's a different product for everyone.
Yeah.
Like that Nighthawk at $449.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Right? That means that if you're in let's say you're a bachelor or you're in a
you're in an
one better,
apartment.
right?
Yeah,
2 better, but you're a gamer.
Yeah.
Like Nighthawk's very good for the gamer
The
or
low
for
latency.
setting quality of
Yep.
service, things like that. That's the product because you might absolutely not have a bunch of people. You might have but you want the Wi-Fi 7 because you bought a new PC or laptop that has Wi-Fi 7.
Yep.
Why on earth would you not embrace the Wi-Fi 7 that is possible on your device?
So what makes it possible is a new high-performance internal antennas. So they've got high-powered amplifiers and they give a 360-degree signal.
Yeah.
Which is why the range is a lot better, especially with the Orbi products. They combine the 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz band, so that you're getting better front haul and back haul back to the router
Yeah.
as well. So no slowing it down of speeds. This is all part of the Orbi, how it works.
A lot of this is about the nerdy stuff like internal network speeds for people that are doing like internal streaming, like you'll do when you have all your Blu-rays ripped to digital, so you can have them in your office. But you'll also be able to use them like a Wi-Fi 7 device. You'll get better streaming and stuff like that.
Yep.
But so the downgrade from the 970 to 770 is things like the gigabits on the network, the backhaul gigabits, but the internet speed, you can still get up to, I think, 2.5 gig internet here. And 2 gig internet is coming. Late next year, you'll be able to order 2 gig internet in Australia in some places. So
absolutely,
that's what these devices
coming.
Yeah,
bring it on, baby.
Bring it on.
I'll tell you a little. I have ripped like 95% of my discs now.
You're at 95%.
I've done most of them. And I did have a big switcher that I was connecting the NAS to the switcher,
right?
And my theater was connected to the Orbi.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did, I was sort of getting some lag issues, so I connected the NAS directly to the Orbi as well. So they're both connected to the Orbi. Problem solved.
Boom.
It was the switcher, the big
because the switcher probably can't. It's probably old and can't handle the speed.
It's not that old, but it's. I think it just was it was dragging the chain a bit.
Yeah, right.
In the whole sort of network link, the connections in the house.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? Let's just cut that out of the loop, straight back in the Orbi. Boom, working perfectly now.
So you've now got hundreds and hundreds of movies. How many?
By the
way, is there an app you can look up your movies?
There's an application I've got. I think there's an app. I haven't downloaded it yet, but there's an info section on the platform, and it gives you all the details of I've got 1,400 movies in there, and still some to go, and I'm not going to stop buying discs. I'm still going to buy discs and just rip them straight away. So I've got the disc basically then on the thing. I've got 8 20 terabyte hard drives in this thing, so I'm not going to run out of space anytime soon.
And
it's backed up too?
Does it still let you do the special features and all that stuff?
Yeah. It just absolutely just copies the disc image. So
when you load a movie, it just brings up the disc sort of thing. It brings up the menu system.
You see the image of the movie, click on it. It'll give you then the scenario, the length, who's in it, the picture, and you hear the music playing from the movie. And then when I hit enter again, it gives me, do you want to go to the menu or do you want to go start playing the movie?
Oh, right.
So I can go to the menu if I want
to
to
hit the movie features, if you want, or if you're going to do director's
choose
audio,
the menu
whatever.
Or straight in, yes or no. And I normally choose no because I just want to watch the movie.
And on the catalogue, if you've got 6 copies of something, because you do.
Yep. I've put different versions of. I've got I've got Star Wars in 4K, and I've got Star Wars DVD. That was a very rare DVD, which has the original theatrical version of Star Wars. You know how it's gone over changes over the years. This is what was in the cinemas that I saw as a 9-year-old in 1977. I've got that on disc, and I've ripped that as well. I've also got Empire and Return of the Jedi original theatrical versions as well. And they're just, you can identify them because at the top of it says 4K, and then the other one says DVD.
So it says Star Wars once, and then under that, when you click on that, there's more of them?
It groups them together.
Yeah,
so there's a collection.
Yes.
And you click on that, then you see the whole collection. So it's like, if you've got Harry Potter movies all together, or Superman movies all together, or the John Wick collection.
Because I saw, the reason I asked about the app, when I was at Channel 9 the other day talking gaming, or the audio guy there, Jason, loves gaming, retro stuff. And he was trying to scan the barcodes of these games, and he's like, these are Gamesman's barcodes, not the legit barcodes. I went, okay, right. And he goes, do you want to know how much my collection is worth? And I looked at it, it was a lot of money. And he's got a database of all of his titles and what they're worth in like eBay terms, like what they're trading for.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not only a collection of his games, but it's and consoles and everything, but it's also a real-time value.
Wow.
Really
I had a similar app, still have it for my movies. So I've got like just a list of my movies basically, and whether I've seen it, whether I've lent it to someone. You scan the barcode, it brings in the cover, the back cover, all the details as well. But that's just a directory rather than a value of it. It's a movie. It tells you if it's 4K, Blu-ray, DVD.
Can you stream them from home on your phone?
From the NAS? No.
Oh, right.
That's the thing with this. It's Arvolution, so it needs a player to be the translator for your system. So if you want to see multi-room capabilities, you need players in every room, which is that's sort of their attachment.
Not an app, another device.
Another player. So the player then, it's like having a
So you
really
can't
good,
use the Plex app to access it?
Not in this case, no. But I reckon I could probably use the raw data and work a way around it. I'm working on that right now. But Arvolution, who's the company?
Because Plex, if it's Plex compatible, that could be on every TV in every room.
I've got a Synology NAS with heaps of movies on it too that I've been sort of just adding to over the years, and that I can view that in any room. But I'm looking at a workaround for the Arvolution system. It's kind of a closed ecosystem. It's administrated from the company. So when you get it, when you put in your drives, they enable it from their end. So over the internet, they then say, righto, it's registered and you're ready to start ripping. And so they can monitor your system as well.
Wow.
No, but it's just so they can keep up with if there's any faults or any dramas, they can look into your system and see if there's any problem. I don't know whether
you did have,
this year. I had issues and it turned out I needed a new chassis. They had to send me a new system.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's working fine.
I don't know how we got onto that. Oh, Netgear, good networking matters.
Great netgear.
It's a great example of why networking matters.
Yeah,
because you can have a huge 4K file. And if you try and transmit that via your Wi-Fi over to the TV, and your Wi-Fi is rubbish or the TV doesn't have the best, whatever,
you're going to notice it.
That's why you want to. That's why we advocate for these systems. Not because we're trying to sell you something, but because a lot of people are advancing their technology at home.
Yeah,
and it's
they're streaming 4K. They're on Netflix and Paramount Plus and Disney Plus. That's 4K.
You know, if you've got an electrician who puts in if you've got 3-phase power at home and you put in a 1-phase car charger, you're not getting the best from your home's electricity.
Absolutely.
So why would you not put in a 3-phase charger? That's the upgrade you make. You know, like it's all little simple advances like that.
And plus
that matter.
now, how many people have got multiple devices? More than they realise.
Yeah.
If whenever you sort of when you link up an Orbi and you go through the app and it tells you how many connected devices you got, like I've got, last count was like 89. I think it was the other day. So a lot of people will be surprised how many devices that are actually connected to them. Well, they might have a doorbell.
The number to look at on
camera.
the Orbi is the connected devices right now. So it says like 70 devices online, but then it'll show you how many devices
that are on. Yeah.
You're like, I'm on 100 and something, right?
Yeah.
Because even if you have friends around, like if kids' friends, when they come over, that's a new device.
Yeah.
Like the number of devices that have come through our home is
Guest Wi-Fi network. Guest Wi-Fi.
Oscar Piastri, 81 it's called.
Oh, is that your guest Wi-Fi network?
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. You don't know the password.
Speaking of Oscar, look at that lovely picture behind you.
Hey?
Check it out, baby.
Wonderful. Oh, hang on.
And it went to me.
Hang on. Look at this.
There you go. Look at that.
Stephen, by the way.
What a beautiful
In the private feed, I'll pick up from that very moment. So that's a reason. If you're a viewer, that's a reason on YouTube to go below, find the link, watch the private feed.
Definitely.
Because I've got something that needs to be seen, to be believed.
Is the camera locked on you now? Is it all on you now,
sorry,
mate? Talk about hogging the ball.
It's a lot of effort.
Hogging the ball.
It really is a lot of effort.
So auto sort of sometimes lingers, doesn't it?
Well, I'm convinced it lingers. We got good feedback. I mean, thank you to the people that did feedback.
Yes.
Let me shout out those people.
Last week's episode, we asked for some feedback.
Last week's episode, we asked for feedback, and we got, there's a couple that I haven't seen. I find that the previous Adobe Switcher software switched the cameras way too quickly.
Ooh.
I believe the slower pace of camera is definitely better. Thank you, Speaker Network. Okay. I'll give you a thumbs up for that. Let me just change. There was more comments. Good to see a couple of blokes in my demographic. I've still got 2 in high school. Yeah, we're talking about that. Thank you, mate. Shout out, Billy. Very nice. Shannon says, Shannon Moir, the video cuts were smooth. It could be quicker with the cuts. Back to the person that has started speaking. If you could dial the sensitivity, if you could fix this, knowing when to switch, it could be amazing. I've spoken to Rode. I've given them the feedback from the Adobe software and whatnot. They've said they'll look at it.
They got back to you?
I don't know. Love the chat. Random intro. I'm here for the 2 blokes getting blotto. Oh, thanks. Cheers.
Woo! On the Diet Coke. Woo! I'll get blotto on the Diet Coke.
That's about Hubble. Thank you, Maven. No one else mentioned the switching.
Some cheeky comments about Hubble too, I noticed on there.
There's not been a lot of comments about the switching, so that means it must be okay. But I still think it lingers. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there was a section before where you were talking for a good 15 seconds and it was still on me, and I'm sort of just trying to look at the camera and thinking.
Yeah. it's not going to happen in the next month and a half. I'm just got too much on. But
We are going to fine-tune it, eh?
oh, no. I'm going to look at getting...
Just going to have one camera on
I'm
Trevor.
going to try and get you and me a little tiny video monitor, like 4 or 5 inches, right?
Yeah.
If I can get 3 of them that can be powered easily,
Yeah.
and I can split the HDMI output.
Yeah.
So, because I can send a second HDMI output, which is just the program feed.
Yep.
And so at the camera, you'll be able to see what's switched,
Right.
which hopefully will mean we won't look in the middle
So you're
too
not
much.
looking in the centre.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
understand. Right.
That's my only studio improvement I want to make.
Okay.
But I need to work out how to split a HDMI without
Yeah.
degrading the signal and stuff like that.
Of
But
course.
that's the plan anyway. A little bit of inside baseball.
Inside baseball there, behind the curtain.
Speaking of inside baseball, next week on the best movies you've never seen.
Well, yeah, we've got a baseball movie, but this week,
That's next
It's a-
week.
it's
I'm
a
talking about
mass-
next week. I'm trying to get people going.
okay, but this week, this comes out before
I
the
know.
movie podcast.
Yeah, I know.
This week is Back
Back
to the Future.
That's it.
Come on.
All right,
Are you
Stephen.
telling me you built a time machine out of
Out
a
of a
DeLorean?
DeLorean?
But you want to do something, you want to do it with a bit of style.
Thanks for your company, folks. It's been great having you here. I look forward to people seeing the EV show next week because it's got half of me with a tooth and half of me without.
Yeah.
Because I've got to start remembering to put this bloody thing back in again.
Yep. Trevor's had a bit of a procedure.
Call
which
me
we'll
Stumpy.
we'll discuss in the private feed. So another reason for you to tune into the private feed, which if you are watching on YouTube, you can actually, there's a link
There's a
down
link
below for the private feed on YouTube.
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks for listening, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Thank
Stephen.
you all.
Bye.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fenech.